Alright, hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between Expectation, also known as LawLiet, versus Agatha here on Amazonia. I do not know which game in the series this is. I do believe this is the final game in the series, and unfortunately I do not have enough time to cast the entire series today, so just choosing the game that was the highest rated. Alright, someone once asked me or posted on YouTube why human players place down this farm and then stop building it and then move on to somewhere else. This is just so that they know where exactly they're building their building. So instead of having to guess that this is 2 spots away, you place down the farm knowing that you have the additional gold in order to place down this barrack. So no real mad science, mad reason there at all, as the game now about to cross the 1 minute mark. Now let's take a look at what's happening here. Expectation, or LawLiet, the Night Elf player, is going for most likely a Tavern Hero. You can see that there is no Altar of Elders, and without the Altar of Elders, you got to assume that the Night Elf player will be going for a Tavern Hero, as I have not seen a player never go for a hero whatsoever. The hero is just such an integral part of WarCraft 3. It gets better with time. It is a 5 supply unit that only becomes stronger and stronger the later you get into the game. Now, meanwhile, we are looking at Agatha, and Agatha, the human player, is going for an Archmage, so no big surprise there. The Archmage, one of the strongest heroes in the game, as it is able to lead an army. Always you have to be thinking about the synergy of your units. Excuse me, the synergy of your units, and having an Archmage with Brilliant Aura allows units such as casters to be much more effective, as they will have a lot more mana going into fights. Also, priests are able to heal more often, and sorcerers are able to get off more slow. Lightning Shield now coming in, Militia being brought over to take down that Renegade Wizard, and you can see how much damage is being dealt already. The Archmage now needs to back off, actually dealing some damage with that Lightning Shield. Doesn't want to hit his own units, as the Water Elemental now backing away, and it looks like it's going to be starting the next creep camp. Alright, Footmen and Militia already coming in here. Archmage getting very close to level 2. Meanwhile, what is the hero? The hero is going to be the Dark Ranger coming in from the Night Elf player, as I'm not quite sure why the Dark Ranger hasn't moved over just quite yet. Archmage now sitting at level 2, a little bit of a head time there, as the Cloak of Shadows is on that Archmage, will be able to hide, as you do see that one Footman trying to chase after that Wisp. That Wisp is already down to 6 hit points and lost sight of it behind a tree for just a second, as the units are still running around. Archmage still looking to creep out, going after the Murloc Nightcrawlers, as both sides feel very, very comfortable just creeping. Now, this is always important to note that the Dark Ranger is one of perhaps the strongest creeping heroes in the early portion of the game, especially against a human player that doesn't have Dispel. The reason why you don't see this particular strategy in a Night Elf versus Night Elf matchup is one Wisp can detonate and just deal massive damage, and actually get a lot of experience if you detonate onto all of these skeletal minions. So the Dark Ranger now moving out with this army. I am surprised that the Dark Ranger is actually letting all of these skeletal minions and their time life go down, but this is in order to stop the human player's very, very aggressive attacks pattern here. You can see now LawLiet trying to come in level 2 on the Dark Ranger. Is he going to get the item? No. Level 3 on the Archmage. Both sides still fighting here, as the Night Elf player and the human player are still both going at it. I swear I haven't cast this game before, but I hopefully am right, as my typical source of replays was currently down, so I'm really hoping I didn't double up on a replay, as especially this is an important game, as we now see another unit getting taken out. So 2 skeletal minions already down. A 3rd skeletal minion now going to get taken down, as the Dark Ranger getting very, very close, or already halfway to level 3 now, as the arrows are still coming in fully just really, really strong. Okay, here goes another Dark Arrow. Are we going to perhaps see another Dark Lesser Minion, as well as another a beautiful, beautiful move there, trying to hide? There goes another very, very low hit point Peasant. 2 of them actually stacked up on top of each other, as the Dark Ranger is forced to back off. Dark Ranger, oh, finds a footman and gonna get experience off of that as well. The Dark Ranger now sitting at level 2 and did a major job in trying to shut down the human player's expansion. More peasants will need to be trained here. You can see more were trained. They are now being walked over in order to build a town hall, and the human player will do what human players do best, and that is establish expansions. Now we can also see that the Night Elf player has actually gotten a Huntress, which does come as a bit of a surprise to me. Not quite sure what to make there, as a beautiful waking up with the creeps. Agatha, the human player, now forced to run away. He does have boots of speed though, and will be able to chase down that Dark Ranger if he does choose to. Yes, getting in a couple quick fireballs there. All right, in comes the Dark Ranger and a Goblin Shredder, as Agatha, the human player, has picked up a Goblin Shredder. Very smart move. They're essentially a knight at the early stages of the game. Very good tanking. Can also be repaired by peasants, and also harvests lumber. I wish Claritin worked better on me. Alright, here we have a panda already being picked up as well, so we can see that the Night Elf player being very aggressive with this particular strategy. Normally, the Dark Ranger is a solo hero for quite some time, but no, we are actually seeing a very early panda come out, as the Archmage now trying to get in some easy shots onto that panda. The panda is already down to, what, 450 some odd hit points, now trying to run away, and this is going to be a very aggressive attack pattern now. You can see that the panda now looking to come in. There's that Dark Ranger. There's a Breath of Fire. Does the shot get off? No, it does not. As you can see, yes, there goes one skeletal minion there. All right, Huntresses now looking to back off. The footmen are not going to be able to chase all too well, though, as the Huntresses and the archers decide to disengage, as the panda bringing up the rear. Footmen still with the fen, with their shields up, do move significantly slower.
A player's forces are under attack.
As all the units are now simply retreating. Alright, archers now backing off. You can see that the panda is about only a sliver away, 10% on its way to level 2. Meanwhile, the Archmage looking to come in and do a bit more of a disruption. There is a Tree of Life hidden here, and that is a bit surprising that a Tree of Life is currently sitting right in that location. And how the human player know to look there is beyond me, as the Ancient of War already making its way over. Alright, the Tree of Life could walk itself over or eat through the trees. Both strategies are viable. Dark Ranger now sitting at level 3. Is it going to be stronger skeletal minions? Yes, it is going to be stronger skeletal minions. Level 2 Black Arrow, or Dark Arrow, excuse me. As we now see all the units now making their way over. Alright, we should be seeing a creeping of the natural expansion here. And then it is going to be 2 bases versus 2 bases. The panda is already out, and that does mean a technological advantage for the Night Elf player. This is going to look actually a bit strange here, as the Dryad now getting poked down, and this is not looking good for that Water Elemental. It does get taken down, and now the Archmage may be in trouble. Does get slow poisoned and taking a little bit of damage there. Archmage, however, does move relatively quickly with those boots of speed, and now trying to get away again. All right, those dark arrows just dealing so much damage, and that slow poison causing that Archmage to retreat relatively slowly. All right, in comes a Goblin Shredder. Night Elf just going after all of those footmen, and are we going to see perhaps, yes, there goes one footman there. The Goblin Shredder actually healing a lot of hit points from those Moonwells, as the panda now sitting at level 1 should be able to get to level 2. All right, Tree of Life has walked straight through, now tanking a lot of that damage. Meanwhile, the Archmage now dropping some water elementals. Oh, Archer is going to get taken down. No, going after, yes, does get taken down. Now going after the Huntress. Huntress will get taken down. There it goes. This is not a good fight whatsoever, as the water elementals do not give skeletal minions. This is not looking good at all. What is going to be happening here next? You can see Agatha. What is that? Agatha now with that water elemental, and you can see more black arrows coming in, and oh, this could be bad news for that footman. The footman needing one more shot. There it goes. It gets taken down. Slow poison. Archmage is going to be in a really rather dangerous location, as the Dryad still doesn't have enough mana for Abolish Magic. Or was that an Abolish Magic? Yes, it was. So the Abolish Magic now on the Dryad. That is going to be important, as the water elemental is just going to fall and start feeding experience into the Night Elf. Alright, Archmage, I have no idea why he's still engaging in this fight whatsoever. He needs to back off. This is not looking good at all. Meanwhile, the Night Elf player has been able to root this Tree of Life while there were still trappers here, and this is very important to note. the Night Elf has been extremely, extremely good at multitasking, able to micro a fight with an Archmage while expanding and rooting a tree. That is very important, as the Ancient of War also not taken down as well. What advantage that the Archmage had is now becoming for naught, as the Archmage is only sitting at level 4 against a level 3 and a level 2 hero combination. So far, we see the Mountain King will be popping out, but he does have a bit of work to catch up on, as the Panda may already be at level 3 or close to it in just a moment. Alright, coming back over, you can see that the Panda, now sitting at level 2, does have True Shot Aura. Most likely will be giving that to the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger very close to level 4 now. And what will that next skill be? Siphon, Drain Life, or Silence? Most likely Silence, just in case there are a whole bunch of casters. There are a lot of Dryads on the field with a Dark Minion army to back it up. This is looking oh so strong, as a Rifleman now gonna get caught out of position. Alright, the slow poison, so much damage being dealt. Level 4 now on that Dark Ranger, as the units are now being brought over here. Sasquatch will get taken down. That Black Arrow doing its thing, gonna spawn another Dark Minion there in just a second. Sentry Wards have been picked up. And what is happening here? The Dark Ranger sitting in the back, perhaps allowing the Panda to get to closer to level 4. Always very important, as a Tome of Strength has been dropped. Alright, Druid of the Claw now coming in with Rejuvenation on some Dryads, and things are looking oh so good for the Night Elf player, as he is at Tree of Eternity getting Druids of the Claw. He does not have... No, he does have Mastery training already, so he does have access to Bears, as the Skeletal Minions are simply just walking in here and taking down Peasants. A beautiful move there, knowing that it's not going to really cost him much, as we do see mortar teams now coming in and just shell-shocking the Panda. Alright, Panda in a bit of trouble here. There's a double Abolish Magic onto a Water Elemental. Those Water Elementals are not going to be long for life at all. There you go, just feeding more experience. And the Dark Ranger has completely... the Dark Ranger will be able to completely shut down that Archmage, even if the Archmage retrains to Blizzard, which is going to be costly. The silence on the Dark Ranger will shut that down, and also the Dryads will be immune to it. So that's a little bit of a double whammy there, as we now see more units engaging once again. Here we go. So far, this game has been in the hands and in control of the Night Elf player throughout much of the match. You can see double Sentry Wards. Perhaps some of those will get sold, as we already are seeing Agatha, the human player, now trying to do a little bit more creeping as well, trying to get that Mountain King at least to level 3. That is what you need to get a Mountain King in order to be successful into the late game. Level 1 Stormbolt just doesn't cut it, as Lightning Shield now coming in. Alright, there's some Mana Flare, and what is happening next? Mana Flare coming in, causing damage across multiple priests. That is going to be a little bit costly there. One Sorceress caught out of position. It's going to get taken down rather quickly. There she goes, as I believe the Night Elf player will be backing off in just a second here. Now, it is important to note there are still these red creep camps that are readily available and pretty easy to take out for both of these armies. They are going to have very strong item drops, and item drops can really change the course of a game. Getting Mask of the Dead or anything like that adds a lot of survivability and durability to your heroes, or getting a Claws of Attack plus 12 on a Dark Ranger would add insult to injury, as it would deal a lot of damage here. And here we go, going after the Granite Golems, as the Druids of the Claw are now attempting to take down all of these Granite Golems here. Alright, Dryads now fighting back and forth here. You can see the Panda coming in. Granite Golem will get taken down. There it goes, and what item was dropped? It looks like it is Claws of Attack plus 12. How did I guess that? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it is Claws of Attack plus 12. Is it going to be given to the Dark Ranger? That is going to be important, and you can already see plus 11 attack on that Dark Ranger. True Shot Aura was actually sold, so that is a bit of a surprise, as there you see the Claws of Attack plus 12, plus 23 damage on a Dark Ranger. So that Dark Ranger raises its minimum damage from 29 to 52, almost doubling it. And that is going to be a huge increase in damage overall. That Dark Ranger is going to be rather deadly to deal with, especially with the bonus damage of that Dark Arrow. All right, Dark Ranger now backing away, wanting to make sure the Panda gets the full experience of that entire creep camp. Almost all of the creep camps have been mined out. As you see, the Mountain King now sitting at level 3. Sobi Mass is on here. Here we go. Here's the engagement. What's going to be going down? Archmage sitting at level 4. Mana Flare now coming in. The Fairy Dragons are getting focused down, but they do have a lot of armor in that Mana Flare mode, as both sides are still fighting and engaging. Riflemen having a bit of trouble trying to engage here, as they are just going to get torn apart by bears, and this just looks like a one-sided fight. But we do see that the entire engagement is away from the Fairy Dragons. Very, very important, but is it going to be enough, as we see another Scroll of Healing come down? There goes one bear. Archmage now sitting at level 5. Are we going to perhaps see some Blizzard? I'm not 100% sure about that. All the Archmage can do is sit on maximum mana and wish that she could cast, or he could cast spells. As you can see, so much damage being had. All right, double or triple Abolish Magic should be coming in. Abolish Magic from the Dryads does deal a lot of damage, but the Water Elemental is now sitting at level 3, so it does have a bit more life. Mountain King comes in with the Stormbolt. Panda sitting at level 5, trying to engage, trying to chase. Dryads getting taken down. Mountain King sitting at level 4, and both sides are still going at it. Panda now being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to get the heck out of dodge, and there he goes. Alright, so things are still looking pretty good here. There's the reveal coming in. You can see a Druid of the Claw. Gonna get, Druids of the Claw, and a lot of them low on hit points, all hiding behind these Moonwells. This is absolutely a huge, huge play by the Night Elf players, saving 3 bears. That may not, even though that sounds like a lot, saving 3 bears, that what's even more important is that he denied the experience. This Mountain King would perhaps be halfway to level 4, or excuse me, halfway to level 5 by now, if those bears had gone down. Archmage may be halfway to level 6, but instead, we can see that the Dark Ranger and the Panda still have a significant level advantage going into the late game. Now, the Dark Ranger's charm is not going to be that useful against this current unit composition. You don't see Knights, you don't see Griffins. Spellbreakers are immune, and trying to take just a Rifleman is not going to be that useful. You can see also Invisible Water Elemental is coming out, and this is actually kind of a cute play as a rejuvenation on the Fairy Dragon now backing off. Alright, what's going to be happening here? Goblin Shredder is immune to Stormbolt, but not immune to Bash. We are going to see an engagement come down as the Fairy Dragon's now going straight after that Mountain King. Mountain King taking a bit of damage, now being forced to back off. Scroll of Town Portal as the human player realizes how bad of a fight this is going for him, and there he goes. He does retreat. Did any units die? I can't really tell. I don't see any skeletons on the ground. So both players were forced to do a Scroll of Town Portal, as we are still sitting at 50 over 90 with a 2,000 bank. Meanwhile, 80 over 100 with a 1,000 bank. Alright, so you can see that the Night Elf player cannot train any more units unless he wants to go into high upkeep. He is just buying items now. You can see Orb of Venom here. And where is that Dark Ranger? I'm looking for that Dark Ranger. There it is. The Dark Ranger has some good items as well. Could add even more. Orb of Venom would not be helpful, as it would take away from that Black Arrow ability. What is going on? This Water Elemental now trying to get away. It looks like it's just going to be hiding off to the north here. Mountain King going to be buying additional scrolls. You can see 4 scrolls of healing on the Archmage and the Mountain King. And between that, with the Priest and the Sorceress and the Spellbreak, the Priest, that is going to be so much healing that I don't know if it can actually be stopped. So far, there's an Ensnare. Archmage is backed off here. I believe this is the last creep camp on the map left. Mountain King gonna get a little bit of extra experience there. Gets a Manual of Health, sitting at 975 hit points, and a Slippers of Agility for an additional 0.9 armor. Coming across, you can see Goblin Zeppelin now coming in. Alright, this bear drop, I don't know what else to call it. This bear drop is going to come in here and absolutely destroy Agatha, or at least force a Scroll of Town Portal. No anti-air whatsoever. No way to shoot down all of these, shoot down this Goblin Zeppelin. And if this Goblin Zeppelin is taken down, Alright, as my daughter walks in the room. If this Goblin Zeppelin is taken down, that will pretty much be the end of the game here. As in comes the drop play. There's the Panda. There's the Bears. And here we go. Panda taking a lot of mana damage already. As you can see, the feedback already coming in. Agatha losing a lot of farms here. He cannot really afford to lose these farms as we are still only at keep. You can see that he is not supply block, but may get there momentarily as the Spellbreakers are now coming over. All right, no. Oh, are we going to see this Panda get taken down? What's happening here? Oh, anti-magic potion as the Goblin Zeppelin slow has been cast here. Staff of Preservation to save it, the Zeppelin, and then Scroll of Town Portal away. What a beautiful maneuver there in order to save all of the low hit point units. That was some amazing micro. If I could actually rewind, you could see he used an anti-magic potion the instant he dropped the Panda so he couldn't get storm bolted. He then used the Staff of Preservation to send the Goblin Zeppelin back home, then instantly used the Scroll of Town Portal in order to head back as well, as he saw that that engagement was no good. Alright, flying machines now coming over. It looks as though the fairy dragons may get poked down out of the sky. This may be the necessary free experience that the human player is looking for to get the Mountain King to level 5. No, still level 4. That Mountain King is still quite a ways away. Archmage still sitting at level 5. Coming back here, the Panda is still sitting at level 5. And the Dark Ranger is still sitting at level 5. We are going at it. And my daughter Arya really wants to watch some WarCraft 3. This isn't StarCraft 2, Arya. There's no Zerg. Oh, she wants to see me. Okay. You want to see Daddy cast? Okay, you want to pull up a chair, Arya? Okay. Alright. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers are currently sitting at 1-1. And it looks as though both sides are really waiting for when the next fight will be. You can see that the Night Elf does have a couple sentry wards down, which is important because there have been a couple of invisible summons. Now, human player doing what so many human players do, using ivory towers in order to bring a home field advantage over a bit. Alright, Spellbreakers, here we go. Hippogriffs going. There is the Blizzard, and that is going to be a huge hit there. There's silence, as I expected. There is the cancel, as both sides are fighting. Alright, the Fairy Dragons do have a little bit of a zoning effect there, as the Blizzard now coming down once again. Are we going to get a silence on any of these units? And it's important that the Archmage is getting so much damage off on all of these units here. Alright, low hit point Bears now coming into the back. And this is absolutely looking like a slaughter as the Fairy Dragons are going to be falling. Alright, there's the anti-magic potion. All of the Bears are low on hit points. You cannot tell which one needs to be Staff of Preservation because all of them need to be Staff of Preservation after all of that damage. Alright, the Archmage now coming in does get another Blizzard down. There goes a Bear. There goes some more Bears. There's a Cyclone coming in from Earth, Storm, and Fire as both sides are fighting. In comes Fire with that Immolation Aura. So much damage to be had. Where is the Archmage? Archmage is now back over here. Doesn't have enough mana. Where is the Mountain King? Mountain King still wandering around here. Now focusing down all the Bears. And oh my gosh, the Night Elf is actually losing the most of his army, even though he does have a standing hero advantage. But in comes Chimeras now. And the Chimeras may completely catch this entire group off out of position again. There is Blizzard. And there you have it. The Dark Ranger could come in. Are we perhaps going to see a Stormbolt onto the Dark Ranger? The Dark Ranger is still alive. The Mountain King doesn't get a Stormbolt off. And what a change of events in the game. Chimera Roost now in play, now training up more Chimeras. Supply sitting at 60 over 100. And that just completely came out of left field. Both sides losing a lot of units. And I thought for a moment that Agatha would be able to come out ahead, but little did I know that the Night Elf completely did a tech switch into Chimeras, and with Chimeras now, and without Griffin Aviaries, we are not going to see Dragonhawks, and without Dragonhawks, I do not believe these Chimeras can be countered. Alright, here you go. Archmage now trying to engage. There's a Stormbolt. Chimera's now focusing down on that Archmage. You can see that there is Rejuvenation stolen. Archmage now trying to back away. How much damage is going to be had? Archmage is silence, does have Roar, and now just still trying to run away still. Panda now trying to push in as well. as the Archmage has retreated all the way back home. Brilliance Aura level 2 staff. That means we do have mass teleport. Chimeras do not have the... Oh, they do have the siege damage upgrade. So these buildings will all fall rather quickly. And what was one bad fight for the Night Elf player just moments ago freed up enough supply for even more Chimeras. You can see there's a Stormbolt. Spellbreaker's now trying to engage, and there you can see the flying machines trying to take down the units. This is still not looking good whatsoever, as the Chimeras are still trying to push in again. Archmage and Priest now getting taken down, and it looks as though the tower coverage is just enough. Alright, we are still going into an engagement. Spellbreaker's trying to engage. Oh no, the Spellbreaker was actually charmed. Alright, so Spellbreakers are not immune to charm. They can actually get charmed here. And oh, beautiful Staff of Preservation saving as you now see another engagement come in. Archmage trying to come over, and it looks like the Archmage will get taken down. There it goes. And there is the GG coming in from Agatha, as LawLiet just absolutely walks over with a level 7 Dark Ranger, level 7 Panda, and double Chimera Roost in order to take the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the game.